What's poppin'? This video is about the second coming of Christ. The second coming of Christ is not about one person coming, it's about all consciousness coming back. Basically, Pisces, the last stage of the zodiac sign. First stage is Aries, which is war. That's why almost every country starts in war. Selfishness, self-preservation. That's the first stage of everything, Aries. Then the last stage is Pisces, which is the coming of Christ, which is really the coming of the Christ consciousness. And the reason they say the second coming is because back then, magic and all that stuff, all that Piscean stuff was active. Now it's not active, but that day is coming back. And the second coming of Pisces is not about one person coming back, it's about a consciousness that's coming back. And that consciousness is Pisces. When magic comes back to the world, when miracles come back to the world, when all type of crazy trickery, manipulation of reality, magic, superpowers, all that stuff coming back. That's what it's talking about, the second coming of Christ. Second coming of Christ is not about no one man coming. It's about humanity coming back to magic. And of course, not everybody's going to be able to do magic, but a huge amount of people is going to slowly start coming up on their magic abilities, awakening their power, and basically that's the 144. They're going to come. And at one point, it's going to be everybody, because Pisces represents everybody coming to one. But in the beginning, it's going to be a small group of people. That small group of people is going to go to the 144. Then eventually it's going to pass the 144, but once that 144,000 people come, it's gonna shift humanity hugely. It's gonna shift humanity to a whole new paradigm. And yes, superpowers, magic, all that shit is real. It's just humanity lost all that through, you gotta search history to figure out that. I mean, if you don't believe in aliens, like none of history is gonna make sense if you don't factor in aliens. But that's another topic. But let's just say humans. We're gonna leave the aliens out. Humans came, bad humans came, and was killing everybody who had magical abilities. And yeah, you said how you kill somebody with magical abilities. That time, a lot of people was losing their magical abilities. Nobody really knows why. It's just the timings of the stars. Everything's meant to happen, but a lot of these people started losing their magical abilities. But the ones that were still here using magic, they was killed off by these basically satanic people. These satanic people flipped the script, made you think the spiritual people, the magical people, are the satanic worshippers, the devil worshippers, when in reality, the devil worshippers are people that separate themselves from nature, people who do the opposite of nature, which is religion. A lot of people are going to be mad, but religion separates you from nature. Religion says nature is evil, water, wind, fire, it's all evil. Don't connect with nothing, it's all evil. The whole world's evil. Using your God-given abilities is evil. The Bible was made to stop you from connecting to nature. And if you know anything about God, you know God is nature. God and nature are one. You are a part of nature too, so you are one with God. But these people came and burnt all the witches, burnt all the wizards, and set humanity into darkness, which is called the Dark Ages. And the Dark Ages is when humanity really lost their magic. And we're still technically in the Dark Ages because humanity hasn't regained that magic. We leave the Dark Age when humanity regains that magic. Right now we're in the age of technology, which is Aquarius. After Aquarius is Pisces. See, or you could organically do everything technology could do. It's just you lost that ability. Everything technology is doing, flying, all that, you can organically do it with your organic technology. Your hands, your body's basically organic technology. But all that stuff is hidden away, locked inside your DNA. It's reasons for it. You gotta reach a certain level maturity to tap into that power. But the second coming of Christ is not about one man coming. It's about humanity regaining its magic, regaining its freedom, because Pisces means freedom. And basically, magic is going to come to the world again. Miracles are going to come to the world again. And humanity is going to be one. Pisces represents everybody becoming one. Pisces is Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is what? Christ consciousness is being one with everything. And when you're one with everything, you have a profound level of new power you can tap into. Even if you're not doing magic, you have all type of knowledge. You know this, you know that, you know this, you know that, because you're connected to everything. You're connected to everybody. You know what everybody's thinking. Just with that alone, you are supreme. Like, just with that alone, you're supreme. You don't need to shoot fire at your hands, laser. You don't need to do none of that. Just connecting with everybody, being able to read everybody's mind, read everything's minds, tap into the knowledge that's all around you, you become supreme. And this is one of the biggest reasons why the elites don't want you to connect with nature. Because when you connect with nature, they can't control you no more. They can't control the population. You know, you can still die, but it's harder to kill you. You know, you got the upper hand when you truly connect to God, which is nature. People think, oh, the devil has power. The devil has no power. The devil is trickery. All the devil's gonna do is trick you to let go of your power. See, everybody's been tricked to let go of their power. See, God is always gonna empower you. You're always gonna get lots of power from God. The devil, you get no power from the devil. Now, the humans, the demonic humans, yeah, they give you riches and stuff like that, but real power is not riches. And you blah, fuck magic and all this other stuff, because you don't really believe in magic. Like, you don't understand that magic is real. So, of course, you'll be like that. And most people can't, most people don't have the level of ability to tap into magic. So it's understandable why people would be like, yeah, forget magic. It's all about the money, yeah. It only makes sense, right? You can't do magic. Why worry about it, right? But magic happens when you connect to God, when you connect to nature, the elements. When you're in tune with God, you become all powerful. It's really hard to get in tune with God. People think it's so easy to get in tune with. It's not easy. Some of the greatest people that was in tune with God was only in tune by a little bit. Just a little bit will make you do crazy stuff. When you fully become in tune, fully become one with God, you're basically an unstoppable being. Weakness is not something that comes from connecting with God. All the stories you hear about people being weak and they had God, no, they didn't really have God. When you really have God, you have a great, great power with you. Like, you're able to do some crazy stuff. And I'm not talking about just luck. Luck's gonna be there too, but real magic. You're able to do real magic. And the coming of Christ, the second coming of Christ, is basically people regaining their magical abilities. If you study science, you will know that magic is real. If you study the double slit experiment, where they show you your consciousness affects reality, it affects matter. You can manipulate reality with your consciousness. We're all doing it now. It's just we're doing it to such a small degree that you can't see the effect. When you actually connect with God, with everything around you, Christ consciousness, you will be able to do profound things, crazy things. It's just most of us can't, right? That's why most people be like, no point in even thinking about that stuff. No point in even worried about that stuff. Because you can't, it's not even about knowledge, it's about purity of heart. But it's not even about purity of heart too, it's about both knowledge and purity of heart. and just God choosing you, because nature's gonna reject you if you try to connect with it. If you're not compatible with it, you got to be compatible with it. And it's not just about having a good heart. A good heart alone is not gonna make you compatible with this energy, with God. You got to have a certain level of evolution, certain level of maturity, which is basically knowledge. But not only knowledge. Knowledge doesn't mean you're mature. You could know a lot and still not be mature, not be ascended. But the second coming of Christ is not about a man. It's about a consciousness coming to humanity. And when this consciousness comes to humanity, the evil people that's been controlling humanity are going to be destroyed. They're going to all be wiped out. That's why they're scared of this. That's why they made so much, they twisted the truth so bad about God and Christ and all this. Christ means consciousness, right? And that's why Jesus is saying, oh, everything I could do, you could do even better. There's going to be people that's going to come after me that's going to do way more than I'm doing. Because it's not about one man. It's about a whole group of people, a collective of people that's going to come. And these group of people, no matter what's the number, we could just say 144,000. Once it reaches a critical number, once that number of people reaches that critical threshold, it's going to change humanity. Humanity is going to change. And everybody is going to become one being. We're all going to be separate still. It's just we going to come together like a full functioning machine, like of one entity. Kind of like how all your cells come together to make you, right? And that's where they get you were made in God's image, because the universe is God. Everything in existence is God. And there's consciousness everywhere. All the stars, planets, they're all conscious. They're like little cells of God. And they all come together to make God. The whole universe is God's body, God's mind. And you are made in that image. That's why you're made of thousands of cells, millions of cells, really. It's really trillions of cells. And in those trillions of cells, there's like a trillion. In one cell is like a trillion atoms, nucleus and protons. So when you truly connect with God, which is connecting with nature, you will achieve Christ consciousness. This is why meditation is important. But you got to understand, attaining this level of unity with God is not easy. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. That's why nobody could really do it. Right? It's only like a couple people in the world that really could do this, really achieve this level. Most people only really tap into it on a small degree. And if you're religious, you probably don't even scratch the surface, right? Because you're connecting with a book. You're not really connecting with all of reality, you know? And if you're really too far into that book, you believe all of reality is evil. You believe the sun is evil. You don't believe you should thank the sun for rising every day. If the sun didn't rise every day, you'd be dead. But you don't believe in thanking the sun for helping you every day, right? You don't believe in thanking the water for giving you life, because without water, you'd be dead. You don't believe in thanking the water. You don't believe in thanking the air, because without the air, you'd be dead. You don't believe in, you see, you have been tricked into going against nature, thinking nature is evil. And really, you've been tricked into going against God, because God is nature.